So, I like this dude. I talked to him a little bit. MK Confessions. He's pretty cool. He's apparently the president of the 3D era of MK, which means that he's a Midway dude, which means that the Midway army is rising. Right? We are coming back to fight the scourge of the Tumblr NRS they-thems. I saw this comment the other day. They're like, oh, the MK community is so much nicer on Tumblr. Yeah. Gee, I wonder why. That's where you weirdos came from. You ever wonder why Twitter's been so bad in recent years? Well, I'll tell you the quick story. It's because Tumblr was threatened by Apple to remove certain really, really bad content. If they, and they didn't remove it, they would remove their app from the store. So they removed all the bad content, every notion of it from Tumblr, and then all of those people had to find a new home. And guess where they came? You're welcome. That's why it's so bad. That's why things that were always weird and abnormal and never pushed as mainstream suddenly become mainstream because they were pushed on a massive social media platform. That's why people reject it, right? That's why it feels bad. Anyway, it's a whole other conversation. So this dude goes, it's a fighting game, go online and every fight bozo. Basically, I'm assuming it's a response to basically like, I'll see the responses there. Is the post still there? No, the post isn't still there, right? Anyway, so it's obviously for the fact, and people go, well, what can we do offline? Like, what can we do to play this game offline if we don't like getting online and playing? And then MK Confessions responds, if I have to go online in order to enjoy the game, what does that say? Your NRS warriors never fail to make me laugh. Yeah, there's something wrong. See, we got MK9 under NetherRealm, but it was basically like, they kept that rubbish name at the door. Midway was still in charge and large. That's why MK9 was great. I never get bored of MK9. Do you know that? I can't even fight people online, and yet I can load MK9 up and play it and never get bored. Ever. Right? What does that tell you? It tells you a whole lot, right? Quick question to the people that thought that movies only started with the invention of internet and Netflix. What do you think we used to do with fighting games before that? What, you think fighting games only existed once the invention of the internet happened? Are you out of your mind? Fighting games have been around forever. Across every console, pretty much. Apart from maybe Atari. There might have been one Atari, right? But we had fighting games in the arcade. We had and I'll answer that question, because don't worry, I can hear, right? I can hear the right? You know what I'm talking about, you know those people. We had fighting games in the arcade. We had fighting games on all the consoles that had no online play, like Super Nintendo, Sega Master System, Mega Drive or Genesis, weirdo American calls it that. It's the Mega Drive. The Mega Drive! Right? All of that stuff. We didn't have online play, man. So they had to make the fighting games great. That's why people of the elder generation look back fondly and love them. It wasn't just because of the content that was in there. It was the quality of the fighting. The quality was amazing. It's like they made, like from MK10 onwards in the Injustice games, it's like the only thing they cared about was sucking on the sack of esports. That's all they cared about. And that's probably the real reason why, if I think about it, I don't think it's the fact of realism and we can't have this women showing up in bikini. Listen, every woman's showing up in high heels in Mortal Kombat universe. What is wrong with you? It's a fictional universe, just to clarify, right? Like, how easy do you think it is to fight in high heels? And don't use strippers and pole dancers as an example of skill. Not everyone can do that. Anyway, I like MK Confessions. He is the eyelash in the eyeball. He is the itchiness in the crease of your anus ring, right? This dude will find a way in, and he will bring the real. And that's why I love this dude. He's great. Really nice dude. I'm going to try and get him onto a podcast, hopefully, because, as he says, we keep it 100 around here. And the thing is, though, that there's probably things that we disagree on too, but that's okay. We're allowed to, right? When you disagree with people like this, you know, some of these people are so sensitive, they need to sit there with a big bowl of ice cream, a nice warm blankie, and a cuddle for half a year. These people are just, you know, like, almost inconsolable. Like all the people go, oh my god, I can't believe Jade isn't in the game. Why, do you think Jade's somewhere in the real world crying right now? Right? No one cares, bro. Okay? No one cares. So... anyway, so I respond. I said, these people act like fighting games only existed once the internet did. What did you think we did with fighting games before online play? Oh yeah, we played them offline. And back then it was extremely rare for actual people tournaments too. You either play with friends or solo, and that's true. Listen, MK has always been my fighting game. My friends, after a while, would just stop fighting me at Mortal Kombat, because I'd beat them. And then some friends were great at Street Fighter, so then they'd beat me all the time. And then some friends were great at Tekken, and they beat me all the time. It was really cool, actually, because we had strength in Mortal Kombat, then we had strength in Street Fighter, and strength in Tekken, and it was pretty cool, actually. And everyone sort of had their favorite sort of fighting game franchise that they became really good at. Nobody, I guess you could, yeah, nobody was really into Virtual Fighter, although as a massive Sega fanboy, I will always love Sega. Always, right? If somebody goes, if you could choose like one company and their consoles to be locked in a room with for the rest of your life, or only ever play on, I'd choose all Sega, man. 100%. I'd be happy. I wouldn't care if I didn't have online play. I just don't care. Right? Sega were it for me, growing up. 100%. Sega were it. Right? So, now, I said this the other day, that the AI in MK1 on very hard, which is the highest difficulty, which is what I play on because I like having my ass kicked, and that teaches me how to fight back. Right? It's a good way to learn. You do this labbing crap, you know, you're sitting there and memorize a combo against an AI that, let's be honest here, most people aren't turning their AI on in practice. You're just having the dummy sit there so you can sit there and spam your little crap, right? Put on the AI on very hard and let's see how we go, alright? The AI on very hard is actually fairer than people are online. People online are exploiting and cheaping this entire experience. And I fought a guy in the early hours of this morning, he was a Raiden player. And he got me first fight, I came back and won second fight, so I was 1 for 1. And what really shocked me, pun intended, I just realized that, right, is that he scrapped. This dude scrapped, right? And it had me on my toes, man. Like, I was just like, see, when these people do these combos, I just put the controller down, man. I'm just sitting there going, this is what you think, this is why you don't get pussy, right? This is why you don't even get like a pussy hair. You get no width, right? Because you do crap like this. It's not fun. It's not good gameplay. It never has been. It never will be. That's why people who aren't big fans of NRS games, but are fans of fighting games, stay clear of them. Because they're crap gameplay. Now, people will come back. And I'll go back to the arcade thing in a sec. People will come back and go, oh, but all fighting games have this sort of stuff. Yes, that's true. But that's the exception to the rule. This is the rule. And yes, arcade fighting games, yes, you can walk up and challenge people. That was part of the thing too. But a lot of times when I used to play, people wouldn't challenge me either. Not because I was good. It's just that people just didn't. Like, a lot of the time, you're still playing these games offline, especially in early MK games. They design their AI to literally eat your money. Alright? So, we had to have good content to play offline, and even when we got games like Art of Fighting and, you know, World Heroes, Samurai Showdown, like the early ones, the gameplay was still so good that it made you want to not only beat it on different difficulties, but also choose other characters to then learn them as well, right? Nowadays, because of the internet and stuff like that, people just go, okay, I need, you know, Reiko combos MK1. And then you'll get a whole bunch of videos by, you know, the ketchup and mustard people, whatever. And all these other clowns that are posting these videos with these massive combos. And then they bitch about it, that people are using that stuff online. I don't understand why there's no freedom online when I play. They're just using the same stuff. Really? Really? It doesn't escape your brain cell velocity, does it? Hello? It doesn't bother me that the combos are in there. It bothers me that we have very little, if anything, to counter it. I've been saying this the longest time. I'm still getting people on here bitching, oh, you can't have one bar combo breaker. Dude, Killer Instinct doesn't have a no bar combo breaker. And that game is awesome. So don't come in here and tell me it would break the fucking game. If Killer Instinct can do it with no restriction, then how is it that adding a small restriction would do that? No, it's because the NRS fanboy mentality is like, I must be able to do my broken ass combo or I cannot enjoy this product. I cannot get online and get 2,000, 3,000 wins, you know, and hopefully get a girlfriend one day. You ain't getting nothing, man. You ain't getting anything, right? You poor. You're pussy poor. Right? So, I like this comment, and I like this dude. Go check him out on Twitter. He knows how to annoy people, and I love it. But he's not annoying in a good way, in a bad way. He's just saying it like it is. He's just saying the truth. This is how I feel about MK. And more people like Diane, Dynasty, you know, that dude. You know, I'm not going to give people nicknames, right? I get called Kano all the time. Right? Except Kano was rich. What happened? I'm like budget Kano. The only thing I can afford is the razors for my head. Even he's like starting to call out stuff. And he made a comment the other day. He's like, oh, I'll see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. He's like, oh, thank everyone to... what was it? I'm trying to find... Maybe I don't have it anymore. It's basically like, oh, thanks everyone for allowing me to say this stuff or whatever, be welcoming. It's like, dude, this should be normal. It should be normal, right? But between the stand accounts and the NRS fanboy and the esports weirdos, right, it is a difficult task because the companies don't care about the rest of us. They don't actually care about the offline play, which is why we only found out about invasions literally a week or two, whenever it was, before the game came out. They don't care. They only care about getting their little crappy game into the esports scene, so that way they think that that's going to get more people in there, and it doesn't. Most people don't care about esports. It's a tiny, tiny fraction of the fighting game population. Nobody cares. Right? Nobody cares about that stuff. Okay? You look at even and go, oh, it's all packed. Yeah, it's packed. Sure. But the hell, 20,000 people versus what? The millions of other people? That's only tiny, man. Right? Nobody cares. Okay? And the fact is that if you only cater games to a certain demographic player, then eventually people will just move on, and then other gaming, fighting game creators will pick up on that. Now, we've known for a long time that the Japanese have done very well, right? We're trying to make sure that they, you know, cater to both online and offline play, you know, try and create senses of community. That's why I did the video showcasing the online features with MK1 versus the previous MK games. They're nothing. There's nothing there. It's so bare bones. It's ridiculous. I got more features on my head. So anyway, yeah, go check out that dude, and yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.